Our bucket and spades are packed and we're off to the seaside. We're in Scarborough on the North Yorkshire coast, and this is a new one on us. Join us on a pirate boat trip. It's the standard Toopy Falls, and Wills tries to film big waves badly. There's even time for a YouTube meetup, so let's get cracking. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcards in a Pint. Now it's about a 3.5-hour drive. How's it going? We've arrived and it's our first time in Scarborough. Let's explore. Our hotel was the Bike and Boot, but more of that later. The sun was in the sky and it was looking to be a glorious day. This is the Grand Hotel. It was once the apple of every Victorian's eye. Today it seems to be home to as many seagulls as hotel guests. Let's head down the cliff to the beach and tell you about our hotel. Well, we've looked out, booked a hotel in a perfect position, just a couple of minutes walk to the beach, down, and so far this looks like an absolutely gorgeous place. Scarborough sits on the east coast of England and is widely regarded as Britain's first ever seaside resort. In the 1600s, Dr. Robert Whitty promoted the health benefits of Scarborough's mineral water. By the 18th century, visitors were also coming not only for the mineral water, but also sea bathing, marking the start of Britain's seaside holiday culture. Today, it's still a popular bucket and spade destination, with everything that a traditional seaside resort has to offer. We enjoyed walking down the front and were looking forward to immersing ourselves in the nostalgia of the resort. It was great to see the beachfront and prom busy with all generations. One thing we do love to do if we can is take a boat trip. And as luck would have it, there was to be a pirate boat trip in about 5 minutes' time. This trip was £6 each and cash only, so do make sure you have some if you want to do this. What do we say, first mate Rach and Pirate Wills? I'm going on a boat. A pirate boat. You are. OK, so Wills was in full pirate mode, but these tours are only 15 minutes long. You sail out of the harbour, look at Scarborough from the sea, and then return back again. We didn't mind though. It was our first Scarborough adventure, and there was even a pirate dog on board. Boat trips always give you a great sense of geography of a place. We knew we wanted to explore this lighthouse, and a view of the whole bay helped us learn where everything was. Once we cleared the harbour wall, it was pretty lumpy out at sea. But we both have good sea legs and enjoy being out on the water. How's it going, Pirate Wills? Great job! Now hang on to that camera, first mate Rach. We don't want it dropping in the ocean. All too soon, it was back to the harbour. We felt like we were now ready to explore Scarborough on foot. How was that? That was really cool. We always like to, if we can, do a boat trip because you can see the lie of the land, and we've seen now our hotel's pretty close to the Cliff Railway, which is nice, if it's called that here, Victorian Railway. But now, as in all beachy times, we're off to get some fish and chips. Oh, before we forget, that cost £6 per adult. It was only about 15-20 minutes ride, but it was lovely, it was great. It really was. But now for fish and chips. And have you had any recommendations? We're going to try the Anchor fish and chips as it's been recommended by Nick and Jill from Generation Explorers, and we're hoping to see them later. So if this is not good, guys, you'll be hearing about it later. Let's go. The smell of fish, chips and pasty British skin slowly burning filled the air. We'd seen from Nick and Jill's vlog that portions here are generous, so went for a fish and chips to share. What a gorgeous day. Now on Nick and Jill in trouble. It's okay, guys, you're off the hook. They're really, really good. The batter is super, super crispy. The chips are nice and fluffy and very hot at the moment. And the fish, just spin down to the fish. The fish is really, really flaky and nice. Top call.
Can't disagree with Rachel. Very good fish and chips. I didn't realise we were getting 2 bits of fish. Maybe it's because we paid for a large, but that was bob on. Nice one, Nick and Jill.
That did go down well. Onwards with the exploring, and can we just say there are plenty of places to get food in Scarborough. Uh-oh, we spy a tourist shop, and I don't know how he does it, but Wills found Christmas straight away. He got a bauble for the travel tree, and I got postcards for our top-tier Patreons. Enjoy! We love these shops, full of childhood memories, accurate mugs, and a very happy Wills. At the far end of the harbour is a small fun fair. But our next mission was to walk out onto the pier. How's Scarborough?
Wow, Scarborough is really, really delivering. It's loads better than I thought it was going to be. It's so nice to see a seaside town doing well. Everyone here is enjoying the sunshine. It's a glorious day. Eating fish and chips, playing with bucket and spade on the beach. There's donkey rides. It's the British seaside the way it should be.
But there's also a more sombre past for Scarborough, as it has history with both World Wars. This ship, the Regal Lady, participated in Operation Dynamo in 1940. She rescued some 1,200 Allied troops during the Dunkirk evacuation. On December the 16th in 1914, 2 German battle cruisers appeared from out of the sea mist with no warning and began bombarding Scarborough. Civilians were going about their daily routines. 17 died immediately. One of the shells hit the lighthouse directly, but didn't explode. It did result in it being unsafe and having to be partly demolished. It was rebuilt in 1931 and now stands as a beacon to wartime casualties and post-war survivals. In front of the lighthouse is the Diving Bell. This statue stands as a modern tribute to the town's rich history as the UK's first sea bathing resort. If you walk back to the Anchor Fish and Chips, just next door is a small display of Scarborough during both World Wars. Do take a moment to stop and remember. But now, it's time for one of my favourite seaside activities. Introducing the 2p Falls. This first machine was rubbish, so I changed it up. And
Yes, I got a jump. Yeah, not that one, another one.
I won a lollipop. In great spirits, we decided to take the bus to North Bay. It's been a long time since we rode on an open-top bus, and we enjoyed it immensely. It was a bit windy though. But high winds also makes for high waves. It was a complete contrast to South Bay. After a very pleasant 10 minutes, we were at the end of the line. Tell us all about your experience, Rach.
We've taken an open-top bus from the South Bay to the North Bay. It was really lovely. I can't remember the last time I've rode an open-top bus. It's £2.50 per person each way. The waves are loads bigger here. And we've also seen on other vlogs a place called Peasholm Park. And the bus has dropped us off right by it. So let's go take a look.
This park was opened in 1912 and was designed in the style of a Japanese garden. Although the geese certainly didn't get the memo, there are lots and lots of Canada geese here. The Victorians had a fascination with East Asian culture, and it was really popular at the time. In this park you'll find Japanese-style bridges, pagodas and a boating lake. In the centre of the lake is Peasholm Island, or Island of the Dragon, and you can even sail your own dragon around it. They come in all colours. We enjoyed a lovely walk on the island. We looked out over the boating lake as waterfalls danced nearby. It's time for a quick review of Peasholm Park.
This is such a lovely park. Everyone's out in the pedalows going round the lake. It's a beautiful lake. We think this will be gorgeous at night. It's got all festoons in the trees and lit up. It would be beautiful, but top find in Scarborough.
It really was. It was incredibly tranquil and a real oasis. But we had other places to be. We'd seen signs for the open-air theatre, and as we've both worked in open-air theatre before, we thought we'd check it out. The Scarborough North Bay Miniature Railway runs from here. It opened in 1931, making it one of the oldest seaside miniature railways in the UK. We didn't ride it today. We were off to check out the theatre, and it seems they have some pretty big concerts here. OK, so the theatre's absolutely massive and way bigger than any open-air theatre we've done. What are we thinking, Rach?
I used to choreograph for Grosvenor Open Air Theatre in Chester, which was great, but this is like open air theatre on steroids.
Then I showed my total ignorance.
I can't believe it. Judas Priest played here last night.
Did he?
I still don't know what I said wrong. This water chute is so cool. It's one of only 3 surviving chutes of its kind in the UK. It was built by Charles Wicksteed in 1931 and is the predecessor to the modern-day log flume. After an almighty splash, you're then hauled up by cable, ready to do it all again. After parks and open-air theatres, it was finally time to head down to the seafront and see what was going on there. This is where the bus drops you, and to catch one back, just head towards the sea and a little around the corner. Now for some sea sounds. Lovely. Scarborough North Bay is quieter, more relaxed and less commercialised than South Bay. There are a few shops and restaurants, and of course you have the park, theatre and a water park, but it's generally seen as the locals or family and friends side of town. We loved the colourful beach huts along the front, and then Wills decided he wanted to film the big waves. What could possibly go wrong? You can see where this is headed. Yep, there.
I'm a bit wet. I hope I got the shot.
Excuse the cackling laughter. It was funny. But did he get the shot? Yes, he did. Sadly, the GoPro and the mics weren't well for the next 24 hours, but all in the name of the artsy. We decided to tumble dry him on the bus back to South Bay. We'd enjoyed North Bay, but we're pining for Candy Floss and 2p Falls. Up on the hill is Scarborough Castle, and that's on our list to visit tomorrow. This time we took the bus all the way through town to the end of the line. This really is a bustling seafront, with so much to see and do. With only 24 hours in Scarborough, we just didn't have time for it all. Back past the seagull-infested Grand Hotel and on to the end of the line, which is, of course, the Scarborough Spa. In 1626, a lady called Mrs. Thomasin Farrer discovered mineral springs flowing from the cliffs here. These waters were believed to have healing properties, leading people to travel to Scarborough to take the waters. Most of the building you see today hails from the 1880s, and although there's no spa here today, the complex houses a grand hall, a theatre and a promenade, lounge and sun court. There was a private event going on today. All manner of artists play here throughout the year. Oh, have you met Johnny Rotten Wills? You should have said. It's a lovely part of Scarborough, and once again we wished we were staying longer to explore it more. And even though we'd been in Scarborough for nearly 4 hours, we'd yet to check into our hotel. Now, are you going to walk up the cliff? No, we're bloody not. Why would you walk up when the Victorians built a lovely tramway up the cliff? We're getting good at these now. Bridge North last week, Scarborough this week. Ding ding, and away we go. This one opened in 1875, making it the first funicular railway in the UK. God bless the Victorians and their aversion to steep paths. £1.50 well spent. Now let's get to the hotel. I need to lie down. Come on, lad. There's a hotel room with our name on it, and it might be quicker by tram, but it's quicker again to stop filming and start walking. Over to you, Rach.
We've had a long old walk. We're now going to check into the hotel. I'm sorry if the sound is bad. I'm not wearing the mic because somebody got it a bit wet.
We unpacked and enjoyed about a 50-minute rest. And
the room is lovely, but we'll show you that tomorrow. We're all freshened up, had a bit of a rest. We're going out now to meet Nick and Jill.
The meeting place was the bridge just outside our hotel. What a lovely evening. And there they are. Even though we converse regularly via Instagram and YouTube, it's been 3 years since we last met up. There's always a tramp through a forest with these two. Just kidding. This was a shortcut to the courtyard. And what's that?
Wills's cup has runneth over. He has a Yorkshire bauble for his travel tree.
Thanks, guys.
Brilliant.
2 baubles in one day.
Nice.
It was a lovely evening, and we didn't film as we were talking. Those gulls are so loud. It was a quick tour through town and some directions for tomorrow from Jill. I look knowledgeable, but I promptly forgot and had to use maps the next day. And when in town, Ask the locals to give you the history of the Grand Hotel.
So yeah, the Grand Hotel, when it was built, it was the biggest hotel in Europe at the time. It was built for Queen Victoria. And if you look at it from the roof, there's 4 turrets and they're in a V shape. And they're for the 4 seasons. There's actually 12 floors, and that represents the months.
365 rooms.
There was 365 rooms when it was first built, representing the days of the year.
Cheers for that, Nick. But then...
Love you.
It was time to say goodbye. Now, one of the main reasons I'd picked this hotel was not only were the prices good, but it was dog-friendly. And... my dog cup runneth over, and we love a map on a wall.
It's right next to it.
Yeah.
And then Robin Hood's Bay is below that.
And a glass of wine. Wills?
We've just had the loveliest evening with Nick and Jill from Generation Explorers. If you don't follow them, go and check them out. Say we said hi. Oh, they're just so nice. And now we're sat here, final glass of wine for the night. Beautiful bar, beautiful little lounge. And that's it, I think. We'll see you in the morning for a bit more Scarborough.
Night.
Cheers. Morning! What a gorgeous and glorious day it is. Let's go for breakfast. Breakfast in the Bike and Boot was lovely. It was just continental, but that did us fine. Next, we flew the drone, which is very scary in Scarborough with all those gulls. This is all we got before we got scared and brought it in. But what a lovely view. Wills then did some field recording next to the Grand Hotel. If we can't fly amongst the gulls, we can at least record them. Now, back to the room.
We said we'd give you a quick room tour. One more line. Bike and Boot, come on in. Let's make this speedy. It was a really comfy bed. We really liked that. 10 out of 10 to the... I've thrown on the floor now. To the towels. Top quality towels. Big massive bath sheets. Storage by the bed. Socket USB. Same on the other side. 2 double socket there. Hairdryer. Makeup kind of area. Ironing board. Over the other side. Telly. Not so great telly. Yeah, but we'll talk about... We're going to do a full room review of this, or hotel review of this hotel, so watch that one. Fridge, sorry, this is slow because I can't get past, is, oh, there we go, stocked, but of course at a cost. Nice tea and coffee, and all you want there. It's, as in all British hotels, it is not air conditioned, so there is a fan that has been very welcome. Should we go in the bathroom? It is bijou, it is dark. There we go. Lovely shower, good water pressure. Not so convinced on the height of the sink, but you can wash your hands whilst you sat on the toilet. And clean your teeth while you sat on the toilet, should you feel it. Ew. Anyway, that was our room. Would we stay here again? Yes, we would. That was a lovely breakfast. We've just checked out. We've got parking till 1:30. We're going to leave at 12. Hopefully the mic is working again after it's soaking yesterday, but we're off to find a castle.
The mic did survive against the North Sea. It was a good day. This is the Town Hall and Gardens, and here stands a bronze statue of Queen Victoria. She visited in 1835 before she was Queen, but her most significant visit came in 1857 during her tour of Yorkshire. I wonder if the gulls bothered her back then. This walk along the cliff top was really pleasant. We then went through town, and this made us laugh, a mural to the gulls. But I don't think the gulls liked it, as there'd been a dirty protest. We can't really comment much on the town, as it was really early and nothing was open. We were on Castle Road, and there were some really interesting buildings along the way. As this church was open, we thought, why not? This is St. Peter's, and today there was an art exhibition on. Here's a beautiful old religious painting, and here's today's offering. Moving on. As you climb higher up Castle Road, you can see down to North Bay. There are some pretty grand-looking hotels up here, and also St Mary's Church. There's been a church here since 1150. Sadly, this was all but destroyed in the English Civil War. It was rebuilt in the late 17th century, but remains of the original church can be seen in the church grounds. In the churchyard, you'll find the grave of Anne Bronte. She was the youngest of the famous Bronte sisters. Anne was diagnosed with advanced tuberculosis in early 1849.
She travelled here to Scarborough, hoping that the good sea air would clear her tuberculosis.
Unfortunately, her health deteriorated, and aged just 29, she died on May the 28th.
She's buried here in St Mary's Churchyard, overlooking the sea.
It's not a bad view at all. But we've got a castle to find. At the very top of Castle Street, quite aptly, are the gates to Scarborough Castle. We were excited to explore. Give us some prices, Rach.
We're in the castle now. It's £12 for adults if you're an English Heritage member, or, as we are, Cadw members, which is kind of the Welsh equivalent. It's free. Let's enjoy this castle.
The castle headland has been a defence site since at least the Bronze Age. Archaeologists have found evidence of an Iron Age settlement. The Romans also used this site. The buildings you see today were begun by William de Groe, Earl of York, in 1136. But
in 1155, King Henry II claimed Scarborough Castle for the crown and began some major renovations.
This included adding the massive Great Tower, or keep, that still dominates the skyline today. Sadly, we couldn't climb the tower today, but I did notice the well. It's there! The most dramatic period of its history is the English Civil War. Royalist Sir Hugh Cholmondeley held the castle for King Charles I, but it fell after a brutal siege in 1645. Cannon fire destroyed much of the Great Hall and outer defences, and by the late 17th century, the castle was no longer a major fortress, but remained a garrison. It's a fascinating site, and there are many paths for you to wander and viewpoints to pause and reflect on the centuries of history here. We spent a good hour just wandering and looking, but were then drawn back to the master gunner's house, as there was coffee and cake. And when we look at Wills's Scarborough bauble this Christmas, we'll remember this day.
That was a really fascinating visit. I'd say for me, yes, the history's amazing, but the views from up there, it's like 360 views of the north, of the south. It's absolutely beautiful. Well worth a visit, especially if you're an English Heritage or Cadw member.
It was almost time to leave this lovely town, and we made our way back down to the seafront via the old town that nestles on the cliffs beneath the castle. It was business as usual on the seafront, and the beautiful summer's day had brought everyone out to eat ice cream, donuts, and enjoy the gorgeous beach. Even we went for a walk on the sand today. As we were leaving soon, we decided on a Scarborough-style lunch and went for burger and hot dog on the beach. Champion! And we met a puppy friend who was adamant he wanted to share. I let him sniff the serviette. We walked back to the car and this time actually climbed the cliffs. It had been a cracking visit, but there was one last thing to check out. We wanted to see inside the Grand Hotel. After all, this hotel had once been the largest hotel in Europe. To be honest, seagulls aside, it was really impressive. The main lobby felt almost royal. The prices to stay here are pretty reasonable too, so why didn't we choose it?
It is such a gorgeous Victorian hotel. You can imagine it back in the Victorian times. Sadly, it's got terrible reviews. If you go onto YouTube, put worst hotel in Scarborough, this one will come up. But we're not going to pass any judgment. What we saw in there was absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, it's not just the Grand's problem, but the gulls in Scarborough are definitely a problem. We'll talk more about that in the roundup. But we've loved the Grand. We would stay there.
Next time, eh? But to finish...
Wow, that was a brilliant...
Beautiful.
24 hours in Scarborough. We've absolutely loved it. It was everything we wanted.
Wasn't it?
And more. We're actually off to York now, but you can watch next week and see that one. But for now, we'll meet you back home for a catch-up.
Well, a pint or a catch-up, it's all the same. Wasn't that a fantastic time in Scarborough?
It really, really was.
Man, I loved it. I think we both loved it.
Yeah.
It had such a sort of proud to be British feel. The bunting was out. It was multi-generational. And everyone was just having a good time at the seaside. The weather was amazing. Our only negative is the gulls.
Oh, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They've really have got a problem. They've taken hold.
On all
Yeah.
of the
Grand Hotel.
Yeah, the sticky out bits
Yeah.
of the windows. On all the hotels, there's
I
nests.
think the Grand Hotel is the source problem. And again, there's no room for them now. They've moved out. I don't know how you get rid of them or I don't know.
Just joking.
Yeah, just joking. But when they're nesting and having their babies, of course, but there needs to be a time of year when they are blasted, I don't know, water blasted, whatever.
Not them, their nests.
Not their nests. I'm sure they'll come back and build more, but slowly
They didn't seem as vicious as the Llandudno ones,
they're not as
did they?
vicious as the Llandudno ones. They weren't for stealing your chips and that, but there was just so many of them.
They were all for having a smack of your drone, though, weren't they?
You woke up in the morning, didn't you? And the sound.
Oh, I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning. And where we live, we have the dawn chorus in the morning.
Yeah.
They had it there, but it was a dawn chorus of gulls. And we know they're not seagulls, they're gulls, and they're different types of gulls. So don't write below saying there's no such thing as a seagull.
Yeah, but they were loud, weren't they?
They were very loud, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even think of a favourite bit in Scarborough.
I love meeting up with Nick and Jill.
Yeah,
we
that
always
was
love Nick and
brilliant.
Jill.
We love Nick and
Do you know
Jill.
what I love about Nick and Jill? Well, apart from their YouTube channel and everything, they always send us little Christmas things,
On
memes
Instagram.
and so on Instagram all the time, which are brilliant. I love those.
Castle was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really nice up
Yeah.
there. And
They have a lot of good gigs at that pavilion, or the spa thing.
And I think a highlight for me is you getting dredged by that wave.
It was funny.
It was really,
really funny.
I did cackle like a witch.
You did.
Right, and we can round this up now.
We should do that.
Yeah,
We
if
should
you
do that.
like this video, that would be great.
If you would hit that button, if you do the bell, if you do the subscribe.
Drop us a comment.
Got a Patreon if you want it.
Yeah.
All that kind of thing.
All that kind of
Have you
thing.
been to Scarborough? What do you think of it?
Yeah, did we look out? Did we have a really nice day? Did we miss something out? Let us know.
We probably did. We're only there for 24 hours.
Yeah, I could go back. We said that when we came home. We could go back. There were lots of lovely restaurants we'd like to have gone to, gone into the spa, maybe seen a concert in the old theatre.
Yeah,
It'd be really nice. Yeah,
Johnny Rotten.
Whatever. Anyway, as we say...
Hey, hang on a sec.
Oh.
Next week, the following day after Scarborough, we went to York.
Yeah.
So next week, it's York. So make sure you watch that, because that was dead good as well, wasn't it?
Have you finished?
Yep.
As we say.
In Postcard in the Pound.
Cheers to the good times.
Why do seagulls live by the sea?
I don't know.
Because if they lived by the bay, they'd be bagels.